back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. It is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. And I must begin with this, which I received earlier today from the Matrix killer. Mikkel is the source of this. They were attempting to convince me that stable coins were a scam. When I was on a Bitcoin forum, I recall, these folks are completely lost. According to the Bitcoin maxis, stable currencies will only be around for a short time. The fact that stable coins are genuinely based on the US dollar is lost on them. Blue Hawk Legend is the source of 90% of institutions acting on stable coins. Thus, 295 executives from traditional banks, financial institutions, fintech startups, and payment gateways were polled for this report, which was released on May 15, or 23% are undertaking pilot experiments, and another 18% are in the planning stage. Nearly half of the respondents, 49%, stated that they currently use stablecoins and payments. Just 10% of the organizations polled stated they were unsure about the adoption of stablecoins. The way forward is stablecoins. Many doors that crypto cannot open will be opened by them. This indicates that there is already institutional demand. This indicates that the banks are prepared. Their goal is to become active in this field as quickly as feasible. Any bank that falls behind will eventually be overtaken. News from Ripple, why institutions are beginning to trust XRP. As a result, they mention that transactions cost less than 1 penny, no payouts for validators, no mining. The distinction of XRP does not rely on financial incentives to complete transactions, in contrast to Bitcoin and Ethereum, where miners and validators require rewards. By using a consensus mechanism, it does away with the requirement to pay for security. This strategy eliminates the financial pressure that causes other blockchains to raise transaction costs while maintaining low fees. XRP will therefore always be the answer of the future. Confirmations for XRP occur in a matter of seconds. Days of waiting are no longer desirable. Transaction costs for XRP are permanently burned. Every XRP transaction burns a 0.001 XRP, which is permanently destroyed rather being remitted to miners or validators. There are two important advantages to this. By adding a tiny fee to each transaction, spam is prevented, generates deflationary pressure over time. By progressively cutting back on the overall supply of XRP, people now claim that burning any significant amount of XRP would take years. However, consider the numerous micropayments that will take place. Don't focus only on large cross payments and transactions. Consider micropayments and remittances. Suddenly, we have a lot of XRP burning. XRP can process 15,000 transactions per second since it was designed for scale. Without Interledger Protocol, the figure would rise into the trillions, and that will happen soon. Why are organizations switching from banks to payment providers for taxes or payments? Institutions are paying attention to the reason. Cross-border transactions and expensive pre-funded accounts are not required. Dependable, inexpensive transactions with built-in speed, scalability, and cost effectiveness regardless of volume or time of day. To send $30.00, no one wants us to spend $30.00. That is resolved by XRP. The banks despise XRP because of this, because these large banks are losing all of their money to XRP. These large banks are being shut down. It provides you with an alternative to the conventional banking system. Smoke is the source of this. What makes XRP a potential Bitcoin substitute? Because XRP functions alongside central bank digital currencies within centralized payment systems. ISO 222 may hurt Bitcoin while helping XRP. While Ripple and XRP frequently slip inside the system, Bitcoin and Ether frequently fall outside. In contrast to Swift, which has a failure probability of about 5%, atomic transactions guarantee 100% reliability. Additionally, XRP is protected from the security flaws of other digital assets like Ethereum and Bitcoin by the consensus mechanism. Since Ripple is an improved Swift and Bitcoin network, it may endure and be utilized by more established financial institutions for more sophisticated experiences. Consider it this way, the storyline will abruptly change once ISO is online. The demand for Bitcoin is going to decline if significant value begins to stream into these ISO cryptocurrencies. Because these cryptocurrencies are addressing a real world issue, people will continue to examine them. Who wants to purchase something, have it in their hands, and then say, look at the price, it's scarce? I would rather say, look at while holding something. This rail is now operational. This rail is in real time. Additionally, the price keeps rising as it goes live on track after rail. That's the reason I adore XRP. The IMF and Ripple future SDR for XRP. This demonstrates the involvement of regulations and policies. Accelerator program of the Bank of England, the Saudi Arabia Monetary Authority Infrastructure Innovation Partnership has chosen Ripple to inform the next generation of RTGS payment infrastructure, allowing financial institutions to use Ripple for faster payments and cross-border payments. Ripple was chosen to join the steering group of the International Monetary Fund, an industry strategic endeavor. Ripple was chosen to be a member of the IMF's high-level FinTech Advisory Committee. Do you now believe that was an accident? Not in my opinion. Ripple was selected due to its superior cross-border payment solution. And XRP is added, the solution becomes even better, faster, and less expensive. However, this was a planned construction. This was not an accident. Ripple was selected right away. A wholesale CBDC pilot program may begin early in the upcoming year, according to the governor of the Bank of France. Verification that Ripple's private ledger for the digital euro is being tested by the Bank of France. You can see it too. Everything is meeting in June. Whether The Economist is correct or not will be interesting to see once for 50/50. Here is where you can see the cover. Crypto has emerged as the most valuable asset in the world. Self-dealing has come to be associated with a business that once aspired to be above politics. What actually happened is that the Bitcoin maxis were the ones who suffered the most. You recall how anti-bank, anti-government, and anti-US dollar they were? Like Bitcoin? Suddenly, they want Bitcoin to be recognized. Within the strategic reserve of the US government, this is the issue. Ripple has consistently supported the US government. Additionally, Ripple was always in line with the bank. Santander, a partner of Ripple XRP, explains how cryptocurrency will replace cash by 2030. As a result, this is all I know. Due to institutional uptake, regulations, and ETFs, I anticipate a significant blow off top in this cycle. Everything will happen simultaneously. And all of this will begin in just a few weeks. As early as today, it may begin as early as next week, but I am certain that it will occur in 2025. Until then, remain patient, remain optimistic, and let's all become wealthy. That being said, I will now conclude this video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you, everybody. The next one, we'll see you. Enjoy your evening.